Okay, Travis Wayne Goodsell, part 4, I believe. And an absolute rabid obsession with Joseph Smith and church history. Mine was different. Mine was of Joseph Smith's ability to translate, as the scriptures indicated to us. Book of Mormon, Egyptian. The Egyptian words in the Book of Mormon and the Doctrine and Covenants, in Adamon, Amen, and the Book of Abraham. That was my interest. I wanted to learn, and no prophet gave me the answers, so I went and searched for it myself. And lo and behold, you don't need to be a prophet to translate ancient writings. You just need to study it yourself. Do the research. But Jeremy wanted to know church history, is what he's claiming. I'd be pretty arrogant and ignorant to say that I have all the information and that you don't have answers. Don't flatter him. Jeremy, you're coming off as knowing all things. Don't give us that. And people have helped promote that in you as they've puffed you up and supported you when the church was excommunicating you. So the church also is a part of that. So be careful, Jeremy. Like D. Michael Quinn, he don't know everything either. You have to do the actual research. You can't just memorize what other people are saying. That's how they train us in school. We go to school, we memorize. We have to memorize the alphabet. We have to memorize vocabulary. We have to memorize math. We have to memorize. And I'm sick and disgusted with memorization, so I get the research books that I don't have to. That I can spend my time researching rather than okay. Anyway, but yeah, there's a big difference. People who do well with memorization, they focus on the memorization rather than learning how to learn. There's a big difference. And it's not street smarts necessarily, but street smarts is learning how to learn, just in a different way, or in the specific category of street smarts. You're learning how to learn with practical application apprenticeship, as it's not really called, but what it used to be called. This whole regurgitation education needs to go. Let's see, like you, he's trying to empathize. Jeremy, I put my pants on. No, Jeremy, don't do that. You're trying to relate to him, and that's a psychobabble trap. And when people try to pull that on me, I automatically dismiss anything they say. So, yes, you may have fooled the CES director. It doesn't appear to be the case, because he ignored you. But don't pull that stunt. And see through a glass darkly. Now you're quoting famous literature. You may have new information and or a new perspective that I may not have heard or considered before. You should have started with that. And you shouldn't have said, I've lost my testimony. You don't lose testimony, you lose faith. Because, remember the seeds? What happens when you destroy your seed? It doesn't grow into a tree with fruit, does it? So you can destroy faith, but you can't destroy a testimony. If you have a testimony, you have it. If somebody else destroys it, you still had it. You produced it, you saw the results, you know the truth. Alright. Man, I'm gonna have to... You're gonna witness me doing something in the midst of this video pretty soon. This is why I'm genuinely interested. You've already lost me, Jeremy. I'm not convinced that you're being genuine with me, because you're pulling these psychobabble tricks. And the answers and thoughts are to these issues. Thoughts? I don't care about people's thoughts. If they don't have an answer for me, I don't want to listen. I'm not interested in people's opinions. Give me facts. Decided to put them down in writing to make them famous. I went through my notes from the past year of research and compiled them together. I did that with Mormon illiteracy and Mormon philosophy is the resulting publication. That's longer than 1 year of research. It doesn't make sense for me to just lay down 5 concerns while also having 20 other concerns that legitimately challenge the truth claims of the LDS Church. They're not truth claims, are they, if they're lies? So that's what's sad about our day and time, is that truth is no longer true. It's opinion. And our personal truth... I saw this coming too. I saw this coming when people were saying, you can't judge me. That now turns into my personal truth. Truth to power. Okay. Oh, good. Alright, we're good. Didn't have to do much as I thought I was. Alright. So, no, stop this, guys. Truth is manifested evidence that we can witness, that we can replicate through scientific process. It is not an opinion. Opinions are not truth. You know, if you don't like the church, doesn't matter, that's your opinion. If you say, hey, Brigham Young was a racist, here's his talk where he says racist things. Oh, yeah, okay, now you're telling the truth. Okay, so apparently he got his grandpa to leave the church as well. See, he's already leading people into apostasy. Jeremy. Let's see, I was reading news online. That's fake news, Jeremy. Stay away from the fake news media. And it's sad that we can't even trust the news, even if it's, especially if it's Fox. My God. Mormonism besieged by the modern age. Article about question and answer meeting of Utah's State University that LDS Church historian and general authority Elder Marlon K. Jensen gave in late 2011. He was asked his thoughts regarding the efforts of Google on membership and people who are leaving in droves. So 2011, after social media, immediately with social media, everybody's searching for Mormonism, going and leaving in Exodus. And so that you can find the news coverage here in Utah about that on YouTube. Maybe since Kirtland, we've never had a period of, I'll call it apostasy, like we're having now, largely over these issues. So again, Marlon K. Jensen, Mormon apologist, an elder of the church, a made man, is, well, I guess, as a soldier, you're not a made man. Godfather, look it up, watch it. They wouldn't let the jury in the Stone case watch the movie. Let's see. So, yeah, he's calling. He's attacking Mormons for leaving. Elder Jensen is. I had him for my Book of Mormon class up at Rick's. He transferred back and forth between the BYUs. Shame on you, Marlon. Don't blame the victim. That's what happens in the church, is that if people leave, those people who leave are obviously in the wrong, they're in error, they're in apostasy, and because the church is true regardless of anything and everything. Crime is not a crime, sin is not a sin, because the church is true and is led by God. God doesn't sin, therefore everything the church does is in accordance with God and therefore is blameless, infallible. And that's where Mormons go wrong. Mormons, you know better. The Book of Mormon is the keystone of the religion. Every prophet must conform to the Book of Mormon. Benson was wrong in the 14 fundamentals of a prophet. You don't listen to a living prophet over the dead prophets in the scriptures. You compare the living prophets with the words of God from the scriptures. The Book of Mormon is for Mormonism, and that is the book standard for all presidents of the church. If they fail to follow it, like Nelson did by taking away the high priesthood, Alma chapter 12, or was it 13? Look it up. So don't make that mistake. Okay. This truly shocked me. Yeah, I don't understand what was going on. So Jeremy, there's some timing issues here. You indicate that you had already done your research. I was very active and fully believing member my entire life up until around the summer of 2012 when I turned 22. It doesn't say that. Yeah, it appears that No, Jeremy, you're messing up your story, your facts, because you're saying you'd spent a year doing research, but in February of 2012, you found the article online that the church was having a crisis, and Mormons were leaving in droves, which was not attending church, not actually signing their names off of the membership. And then you say in the summer, you then had been a faithful Mormon up until then. No, Jeremy, something's not right. You're getting your stories mixed up like Joseph Smith did. You got to be careful of that. If you're going to tell your story, make sure it all lines up and makes sense, so that people like me don't come along and go, hey, wait a minute. Sincere? Honest? No, something's wrong. You're missing some things here. And these are clues, red flags, shall we say, that Jeremy has got other motivations with this letter. Now, I started doing research and reading books like LDS Historian and Scholar, Richard Bushman's Joseph Smith, Rough Stone Rolling. Again, he's an author. Don't read author work. Research. And many others. See, Jeremy, you exposed your flaw. To better understand what was happening. The following issues are many of my main concerns. So again, these aren't his questions from research. These are other people's questions that he's compiled together into a CES letter. Sorry, Jeremy. No, you're doing what Mormon apologists do. We've compiled all of the words different from the King James Bible that we currently use, not the 1769 version that Joseph Smith used to plagiarize in the Book of Mormon, which was not actually Joseph Smith, it was actually Sidney Rigdon. Didn't know that, did you? Did you? Solomon Spaulding? So yeah, Solomon Spaulding did not plagiarize the Bible. That was one of the other books that were plagiarized among Solomon Spaulding's. There are many books plagiarized. But we'll get to that. So, author sources.